I want to discuss R. Kelly today, right? R. Kelly. Now, full disclosure, I am an R. Kelly fan. I remember dancing in the kitchen with my Aunt Kim, frying chicken to Step in the Name of Love. I lost my virginity to 12 play. Feeling on Your Booty was one of the first songs that I've ever heard in my life. Like, I'm an R. Kelly fan, right? 28 years old, and so a lot of his music, or the peak of his powers, was like after my teenage years. So I was enjoying his music retroactively, not growing up with the music as a teenager or as an adult, right? He's been found guilty. He was on trial. I think it was a federal case, found guilty of sex trafficking and some other charges as well. I think he's facing 100 years in prison. And look, man, this is not a defend R. Kelly video in any way, shape, or form, right? I believe he is guilty of what he has been accused of. I don't know if it was Bill Cosby himself or somebody from his team that he thinks R. Kelly got railroaded in his sex trafficking case. Maybe that's true, right? I'm not a lawyer. Like, you can be guilty of something, but also not receive the defense that you should have, or not receive the fair treatment legally that you should have, and still be guilty. So you can be guilty of something and also have your legal rights violated at the same time. But you're not going to get any sympathy when the crime you are accused of is sex with minors, even if your rights were violated, so to speak. So whatever. Then, I'm scrolling through Twitter. I'm scrolling through Twitter, my Twitter timeline. I stay in these Twitter streets. And there was an article written by Variety about, should R. Kelly's music be banned? And immediately I retweeted it and I was annoyed. Now, just full transparency, this article was written by a Jem Aswad. Aswad. And just in her defense, her conclusion to the article is as follows. Great art is sometimes made by horrible people, and whether or not a person is morally comfortable consuming that art and earning money for that horrible person is up to them. And so she lands on my landing, which is, back up and let people do what they want to do. I don't understand, and the purpose of my video here is this need people have to control people and who they consume, right? Now, if we're having a conversation about should R. Kelly's music be played in public venues or public gatherings, even social gatherings, those are separate conversations to have. I would argue that you're not going to hear any R. Kelly played over the radio probably for the next 50 years, even at large social gatherings. If you don't know personally everybody at your party, whatever, you're not going to risk messing up the party vibe by playing 12 play. Nobody with a brain is going to do that. So out of the question. That said, though, outside of those rare occasions, music listening is a very intimate and personal experience. If you are a music head like I am, a musician, a music lover, you spend more time listening to music by yourself than you do at parties, public gatherings, weddings, whatever. You spend most of your time listening to music at home, on your way to work, on your way from work, on your way to school. Wherever you're going, the headphones on, the Apple earbuds in your ears, that's when most people today listen to their music. So it's a very personal experience. And anyone who believes that they have the right to dictate what someone else can listen to in the privacy of their own earbuds is insane to me. I get not being able to listen to R. Kelly, right? Some people, for example, we was having a conversation on Clubhouse about, whether or not, you can still listen to R. Kelly's music. And music is emotional. So we get attached to music in different ways and it means things differently, right? So for some people, they can no longer listen to R. Kelly's music because it's tainted for them. They cannot hear these sexually explicit lyrics that some of those lyrics were inspired by his relationships with minors and still enjoy the music. And I get that, totally get it. But you have to respect that there are individuals like myself that can make that separation. There is no muddied waters. I am one of them. I am somebody who can listen to R. Kelly's music and not thinking about his personal transgressions. The same way I can watch The Cosby Show without thinking about Bill Cosby's personal life. Michael Jackson's another one. I can enjoy the music. I don't even think about what he was accused of in his personal life. It's none of my business as a consumer of the music, because that's what I'm there for. I'm there for the content. I'm there for the music. I'm not there for who these people are because I don't know these people. But the audacity to feel like you can dictate what someone else listens to is insane to me. I don't know if there's going to be another push because a while back, there was this movement to mute R. Kelly, which originally was trying to get R. Kelly's music taken off streaming platforms, period. So they wanted to make it where you can't find R. Kelly's music on Spotify, on Apple iTunes, and listen to it. Now, thankfully, it was one of the few times that Spotify grew some balls and push back on these people. That said, with this new ruling here, we might see another push to get R. Kelly's music taken on these platforms, because now this will be post-documentary, post the trial, post him being found guilty, post the details of that trial coming out now where you can read it. People in the news are talking about it. Gayle King just did an interview with one of R. Kelly's girlfriends that was in the original, that she interviewed originally a while back, where we got those funny memes of R. Kelly screaming at Gayle King and Gayle King looking straight ahead. So in the climate now, they might succumb to the demands of these activists, these crazy people trying to dictate what we can and cannot listen to. They might succumb now. The cancel culture stuff is way different now than it was 5 years ago, 4 years ago, whenever the first attempt was, right? And so I'm worried now that we might actually see people successful at convincing these platforms to take R. Kelly off of being an available artist to listen to. The moment you give these people the moment you succumb to the demands of these people regarding removing him off of these streaming platforms because of his actions, you enter a dangerous place that you don't want to be. As a culture, hip hop is filled with artists that have engaged personally in very problematic behavior. I mean, assault, murder, rape, etc. Are we then going to say, you know what, if you are an artist who doesn't live up to a standard of morality, that we cannot host your content on our platform? You don't want to start that. You don't want to get that ball rolling. You don't. Even if the argument from the other side is, well, Cruel, might that clean up the actions of these artists? If they're worried that their music can get taken off these platforms, maybe their behavior will change. I doubt it, but maybe. But here's the thing. Even if that is the case, on principle, I don't want to create a society like that. On principle. Because I believe in the fact that once you put something out there for public consumption, whether you're a teacher, a musician, an artist, a filmmaker, that the work should be judged off of its own merit, not off of the actions of the creator. If we forget that, art will be destroyed from today moving forward. So that's kind of where I want to end this here. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with me, disagree? I'm very interested in hearing. Like I said, I'm not defending the person. I'm defending the right for his music to exist for public consumption, and arguing that it is nobody's business but me and my iPhone regarding who I listen to.